Welcome back to Quarantine Apologetics, Defending the Faith While Under Lockdown. I'm Allan Ruhl from AllanRuhl.com, and today we're going to be going over another bad Muslim argument. Now, it's not as bad as the one I talked about yesterday, the Mohammedim Song of Solomon 5:16 nonsense, but it is pretty bad, and it's used by some of their mainstream apologists. Some know better, but some don't. So there's some bad apologists that use it. Ahmadiyya used it. So does Zakir Hussain. But I've seen other Muslim apologists not use it. So let's go through. I will, and we're also going to be doing this as an exercise. I am going to be giving the argument. I'll give you a chance to pause the video if you want, and then see how you would react. All right, here's the argument. The Quran says Jesus didn't die, and the Bible says he did die. But if you read the Bible carefully, it says he didn't die. Let's see. Hebrews 5:7. During the days of Jesus' life on earth, he offered up prayers and petitions with fervent cries and tears to the one who could save him from death, and he was heard because of his reverent submission. So, because of this verse, Jesus prayed to be saved from death, and he was heard, therefore he didn't die. The Quran is right. Now, that's the argument. What the bad Muslim apologist, or the Muslim who watches them on YouTube, will throw at you. Now, pause the video if you want and try to answer this. Let's see if you can. All right? I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now I'm going to give you the answer. Let's read Hebrews 5:7. During the days of Jesus' life on earth, he offered up prayers and petitions with fervent cries and tears to the one who could save him from death, and he was heard because of his reverent submission. All right, so now I'm just going to return this back at the Muslim. Where does it say he prayed to be saved from death? It says he offered up prayers and petitions with fervent cries and tears to the one who could save him from death, and he was heard because of his reverent submission. Where does he pray to be saved from death? It just says he prayed to the one who could save him from death. I pray to the one who could save me from death every day. So do you. So does almost every Muslim. That doesn't mean I'm praying to be saved from death. And Jesus wasn't either. Now, how do we know this? How do we know this in another way? Hebrews, in four places, Hebrews actually says that Jesus died. Just one example, this is Hebrews 9:15. For this reason, Christ is a mediator of a new covenant, that those who are called may receive the promised eternal inheritance, now that he has died as a ransom to set them free from the sins committed under the first covenant. So, there you go. And in many other places, go to Hebrews 2, it says the same thing. Hebrews 13 says the same thing. So the author of Hebrews knows that Jesus Christ died. And so why do the Muslims do this? Well, because the Muslims don't care what Hebrews says. They only care about this one verse, and it's their spin on this one verse. They don't care about Hebrews. Do you think these Muslim apologists like Zakir Hussain and all these idiots pop open the book of Hebrews with commentaries trying to find out what the book actually said? No. They're just throwing these, whoa, Hebrews 5:7, guys. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So, if they ever try that on you, just use that. I hope you paused and try to do this yourself, because, you need to know the Bible enough to do this. You need to know what Hebrews actually says. And so the next time a Muslim tries to use this on you, it's not like, oh, what do I do? But thankfully I helped you out. So go read through the book of Hebrews if you haven't read through it. It's a really good book. I love it. I love the way it uses the Old Testament and stuff like that. So go read this book. Not to mention, it takes a verse from the Psalms that applies to Yahweh. This is in Hebrews 1, and applies it to Jesus, and it calls Jesus God. And of course, the Muslims don't believe that, but like I said, they don't care. They just care about this one verse. They don't care what the book said. So, I hope you learned something today. Tune in tomorrow for another episode of Quarantine Apologetics. God bless.